Hello guys, thank you for joining me for this new video on my YouTube channel. In the video of today, I want to address some very special issues starting with education in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that since the struggle started last year, it was a style, a part of as a strategy to put pressure on the La République that children were not supposed to go to school. And me personally, I've condemned that strategy right from the beginning. Let me explain why I condemn that strategy. In 1972, a referendum was organized in this country asking whether the Anglophones accept to be united to Cameroon, yes or no. So that was when they wanted to create the State of Union, République Unie du Cameroun, right? So people were asked whether they vote for or against the union of the two federal states, because when you are a federal state, it means that every sub-state has its own autonomy somehow. Now they saw that the autonomy was not good, so they had to unite them so that it should become one united country. A referendum was organized, and during that referendum there were two propositions, yes and oui. Ladies and gentlemen, the two propositions were yes and oui, and yet the Anglophones, they voted. So they went for the referendum. How come? When they went for the referendum, they voted, and finally, the outcome was that there should be a state of union. So the people started complaining that no, we voted against it. How is that everybody at the end is saying that yes, yes, yes? Just because they did not understand the meaning of we. We, it is one word meaning yes. So why did they not understand? Because of illiteracy. I'm sorry if some people may feel insulted, but it's the truth. Because before that 1972, before then, when the white man came to Africa, when they came to our country, some people that were privileged were sending their children to school, to the white man's school, okay, to get the modern education. Most of our parents were not for that, so they did not see it important. Now, those who sent their children to study in the modern education, now you see that after being educated, the children came and were the leaders. So they were the ones leading those who did not go to the white man's school. So from there, modern education started entering into our culture. Okay, and many people now, almost everybody understand now that it's very important to send our kids to school, because that is what will help them to affirm themselves socially, economically, politically, in fact, in any sense. That is what will help them to stand and speak to somebody. Because when you want to speak, you cannot just say nonsense, right? And speaking in English is not your mother language. Okay, so people will say the Anglophones. Yes, you're Anglophones because you are born in a region where English is the primary language. It's not because English is your language. So every Cameroonian has a tribe, meaning a tribal language. We have each of us. Now, in common, we have two main languages, French and English. That is what makes Francophones and Anglophones. So it's the difference of two cultures, languages. So if you are born Anglophone, you don't go to school, maybe you can try to speak English, but you will never speak good English. You will never understand good English. You will never have a clear reasoning when it comes to some issues. Okay, so why did I really condemn this issue of preventing children from going to school? Because when somebody is not being educated, tomorrow that person will be fooled, just like yesterday. And again, I'm telling you something, okay? Even the people that were representing the Anglophones were not literate. Because if they were, they wouldn't have advised their people to go to that referendum. Because me, I cannot know that somebody is asking me, do you agree to be with me, yes or we? Me, I cannot say anything, because yes means we and we means yes. So somebody who does not know it, we just choose the one that he does not understand, right? And also, when somebody is literate, you ask him to choose. There are two options. He does not understand what option. The first thing he will do is to ask you, what is the meaning of this? You say yes, you say we. I know yes, but I don't know we. We means what? You need to inquire and know the meaning of the we before he engages in that, right? This is not what happened. Why? Because our people then were not literate. So to me, in 2017, it's not believable that somebody can stand and say, don't send your child to school. It's very bad. And if you see the way things have been moving, right? The parents, the fathers that sent their kids to the white man's school, when the kids came back, they're the ones who occupied the biggest positions. Even up to today, those in the Anglophone zone who are topping in terms of position are those who went to school. They went to big schools, they had great education. Now when they came back, they were the ones taken and posted, in big positions in the government, everywhere. Now, those who did not send their children to school, the children are back home, right? They are doing other things, but they're still following. The truth about it is that when you are not educated, you are a follower. You can never lead. You can never lead. So if somebody, especially somebody that is not in the country, who is out of the country, living there with his family, so his children are going to school, he is your leader today because he went to school, right? He went to school, so now he's leading you, and he's telling you don't send your own children to school when his own children are going to school. How come you guys cannot reason? Because me, it's very obvious. You come and tell me, no, don't send your child to school. I will ask you, where are your own children? Are they going to school, yes or no? So if your children are going to school, why should I not send my own child in school? They will say, no, the education system in Cameroon is not the best. I have nothing to say against it. You can even say that it's not good. I have nothing to say against it. It's not good. That is real. Everybody knows it. But if you take the ranking in Africa, in terms of education system, Cameroon is not among the last countries. In fact, Cameroon is one of the countries in the sub-Saharan where education is most developed. So worldwide it's recognized that Cameroonians, they are well educated. Worldwide it is recognized that in the CEMAC zone, Cameroon has the best education system. That is why we see people living from Chad, living from Gabon, living from they are coming to do their schools here, to do their studies here, especially when it goes to higher education. They come to Cameroon to study. They come to Cameroon. Why? Because they see that Cameroon has better. So though our own is not good, at least it is something. So before bringing the good one, before bringing the better one, before bringing the best one, let's use this. Because the people telling you don't go to that school, they went through the same school. After now they went for a better. So they did not stay back home and after just jump to US. No, they went to the school in Cameroon. So they followed the education system being in place in Cameroon. When they finished that system, now they went to embrace a better one. So how come today they don't want your children to follow the same channel they did? They say don't send them to school. If your child is not going to school, how do you expect that child to go to USA tomorrow? Because even through DV lottery today, you don't have advanced level, forget. You can never have the visa. When you go to the US website for DV, you will see it. It is well written there in English. If you don't have advanced level, you cannot be issued visa to go in US, even through GV lottery. Now, when they say your kids should not go to school, how will they go to US too? So how will they become leaders tomorrow? So it means that your family. So ladies and gentlemen, you who are following me from Bamenda and from Buea, from out of Cameroon, anywhere in the world, I want you to know something very, very important. People are talking of secessionism today as if it is something new. I am very surprised. And when I talk about it, they say I don't understand anything. I say, okay, maybe I don't understand anything. Then explain it to me. The only thing they explain to me is to insult me. You see? So you tell me, there's a topic, I say my mind, you say no, I don't understand anything. I say, okay, you explain it to me. You instead insult me. I have no problem with that, okay? But I will keep on telling you what I know. Until you prove me wrong, I will maintain it. This is before the British and the French people came to Cameroon. There was a Cameroon. I've argued with many people. They say no, there was never one Cameroon. Never. That two entities come together. I'm not refusing that one. But before the British and the French, there was one Cameroon. I don't want to talk much about it, but because there are historians who can better explain it. There was one Cameroon under the Germans. So the first map of Cameroon was drawn by the Germans. If you see that map, you will see that the Anglophones were in Cameroon. After the First World War, the Germans, they lost, and now the British and the French, they took over and they divided Cameroon. That's the policy of the white man. They divide to better rule. They divide. Whenever they cannot succeed, they find a way to divide. Because once you are divided, you are weak. So they can easily get through. That's what happened. After the Germans lost, they divided. Now the British and the French, they took over. Now when it was time for them to leave, the French people refused to leave completely. It's their culture. They don't go somewhere and just quit. The British said, okay, we are leaving. Now, the UN asked the Anglophones, the Southern Cameroonians, to choose their way forward. There were 3 categories of people in the Anglophone zone, in the Anglophone regions. There were those who needed their own independence. Those are the secessionists. There are those who wanted to join Nigeria, and there are those who said, let's go back to one country like we were before being divided. So there were 3 categories of people. Now when the UN came in, organizing the referendum, choose where you are going to, they gave 2 options. Though there were 3 categories, the UN gave 2 options. Do you go to Nigeria or do you join the French Cameroon? Okay? So, though people joined the French Cameroon and some left for Nigeria, those who were there that they need their independence, they were not hurt. It doesn't mean that those people died. No, they were there. And they transmitted that line of thought, you know, they transmitted that philosophy to their generations, to their kids. So it has always been in the heart. Because Symphorian Kimbi, he told me the separation is already in the heart of people. Mr. Kimbi, you are making a very big mistake. The separation has always been there in the hearts of people. But people were not claiming that much because at that time, at least they were living. They were living. They were living until things could no more go. That you see is rising. It's the same thing with marriage. When you take a woman to marry her, she's a different body from you, right? She has a different education, she has a different family, so she has a different background. But you guys decide to come together, right? You live together. You can live together till both of you die without having any problem. It depends on how one treats the other and vice versa. But the day you start troubling that woman, she will remind you, I have a father, I have a mother, you came to our house to take me. It's like that. But when you guys are fine, enjoying your life, enjoying love, there's no I have a father, I have a mother. She will call your father daddy, call your mother mommy, and you will do the same. So there's peace. So the problem is the system in place, which is not good. Which is not good. That is what gave birth to this rise of cessationism. It was already there. It just needed, something to activate it. So, people willing to separate is normal. It's their right. Okay? It's their right. It's even necessary for them. Because, trust me, when you suffer a lot, it's not good. Normally, at a certain time, you should think that no, maybe if I go to my own place, I can better organize myself and have a more peaceful life. It's okay. My problem is not at the level of separating. Maybe you guys don't understand me that well. My problem is at the level of the strategies used for the separation. First strategy, children don't go to school. Me, I condemn it. Because you don't have any problems with the children. The children are the small ones. You are rising up because you have been educated and you don't want them to be educated. How do you expect them tomorrow if ever there's another problem to rise up? So you want to kill them, right? You want to hold, how do they call it? You want to be the only ones. You want to be, but it's not correct. See, instead of saying children should not go to school, you can say government offices should not open. You can say children go to school but they don't pay any school fees. The government will be forced to pay the teachers, they will be forced to take care of the schools. So the children go to school for free, they don't pay anything. You decide like that. You fight for that. It's okay. For me, it's okay. People should not go to market. I don't understand. That is something, since this thing started, this struggle started, I try to understand, but I've still not understood. Me, I was not born in Yaoundé, okay? I came to Yaoundé in 2009 for studies. It means that me too, thank God, I'm educated somehow. So, somebody is having a shop. That is the only source of income the person has, is shop. You say the guy should not open the shop, of which when you sick, is from that shop that you will get money to go to the hospital. You say no, don't open the shop, because if you open the shop, you will burn the shop. So stay back home. If you are hungry, support. It's for a good cause. You who are saying so, you are not in Cameroon to support with him. How do you do that? How do you do that? You are somewhere else. You have your job well secured, your family well secured, and you are telling somebody that is exposed to everything, no, don't even do the least that you can do to survive. How, guys, can you do that? And how you people, the population, how can you accept that from somebody? You see, it's still to say that you are not yet educated. Because an educated person, when you tell him something, he will first think and see the clarity of what you are telling him, and see the logic in what you are telling him before he follows, before he believes in you. You guys, you just follow. They say don't do this, you do. You don't do it. Do this, you do it. And me, instead of asking people not to go to market, I will ask them to go to market, but that they should not pay any tax to the government. They go to the market, they sell, they make their money. When the government officials come for taxes, they don't pay any tax. That is good. It means that the government will be suffering. Because when you say nobody should go to market, it's to break the government. The petrol is flowing. The petrol is flowing. It's the petrol that gives money to the government. Petrol is flowing. Market is to sell food. Is to serve the people. petrol is to serve the government. So you leave petrol, you leave government offices, you prevent people from going to the market to make their little money. You make people to lose their jobs for free. That is not important. It means that you are not using the right strategy. And that is where my problem is. Trust me, that is where my problem is. My problem is not at the level of separating or not separating. My problem is at the level of the strategies you guys are using to get the independence. You are fighting against the system. Target the system. Don't target yourself. How can you be killing yourself? Preventing yourself from being educated. Preventing yourself from making any money. What are you doing? How will you survive? How will you survive? Because trust me, that struggle that started last year is not to end today or tomorrow. It's something that will take years again. Trust me. So you want your people to die? When they die and you succeed, who will you rule? You'll be leading who? Dead bodies? It makes no sense. And I want to tell you, please, don't be that selfish. Don't be that selfish. If you want to call yourself a leader, learn first how to share. Learn first how to accept that somebody can own something and be happy by his own without you being there. It's very important. It's very important. It's absolutely important. Those who read the Bible, they can tell you how Jesus Christ was leading his own people. Jesus was not like the center. He has never wanted to be the center. When I uploaded my first video on the Anglophone crisis, how Southern Cameroon can get its independence, many people commented. They said they suspect me to work for Biya. In this video of today, I want to give you a clear answer so that it should no more be a topic. Okay? So this is my final answer. This is my only answer. This is my official and unofficial answer. Jean Zepan has never worked for Biya, and Jean Zepan is not working for Biya. So I am not working for Biya. I have never worked for Biya. But trust me, I would have loved to work for Biya. I would have loved to work for him. When I say it, please don't mix things, because some people will say I'm looking for position in the government. I'm not interested in working for the government. A government worker works for the people. He takes instruction from the people or the leaders there. I want to work for Biya, taking instruction from him, reporting directly to him. Do you know why? If ever I was given the chance to do so, I would have made him a better person. Just like I'm trying to convince you to see the good and the bad in what you guys are doing. That is what I have done with him. Those who know me, they will tell you, when I'm with somebody, I do my best so that you should be a better person, a better you. And I expect the same from my people. They will tell you, if you find somebody that I know. Okay, me, I live in Yaoundé at Monté-Chapelle-Obili. Come there, many people know me. Okay, so just question anybody on the roads, anywhere, you will tell you that that is how I am. So I would have loved to work for him. But now I don't know. Even if he calls me, come and work for me, I don't know how I can work for such an old man. He's old. He's no more having a brain to see things properly. He can no more stand. Even to work is a problem. To read. But he's just hanging on the power. Power. What are you doing with such a power? From 1962 up to date, you have been there. What kind of power have you not had? So what is the essence now? So it's very pitiful, guys. It's really pitiful. But I cannot do anything about it. I can only advise you in what is good for you, in what is good for me, what is good for our people. Okay? So people also told me, why am I talking of elections? Do I suggest that they should stop the struggle and go for elections? No. That's not what I said. I said, choose the right strategy for the struggle. This strategy you have used, which is not first of all good, It cannot end today. Trust me. And if you see how things are going lately, it will end up being a civil war. So violence will come in. And when violence is engaged in a fight, it will take minimum 2 years for any foreign country to intervene. Imagine, in those 2 years, people will be dying. In those 2 years, houses will be burning. In those 2 years, okay, poverty will be increasing. So me, I say, instead of using that way, which will bring more suffering, which will take much time, let's focus on something that is to happen next year. 2018 is next year. It's next door. We are in December. If there's any Anglophone who has a good social project, please rise. And this is what I propose. Not that somebody should rise and say, I'm the leader. It doesn't work like that today. Rise. Convince the Anglophones. Let them choose you as their leader. And now, put yourself as candidate for the presidency, and the Anglophones should campaign for that person. I am sure if Anglophones can do that, it will work. Why? The context of today is not the context of 1992. And you see, even in that 1992, Frundi could shake Cameroon. He could do things. And those who were following him were not only Anglophones, trust me. Most of them were not even Anglophones, they were Francophones. They were Francophones. But with years, they withdrew from SDF. So there were Francophones behind him. So why do you think that today you cannot bring Francophones behind you? You don't know why? Let me tell you, it's because you are not strong, you are so weak, you are wicked even at the limit. That's not insulting. It's telling you the truth. You say you have leaders. What kind of leaders are that? They are out of the country and leading you in. Where have you seen it? In the history of this world, in the history of revolutions, in Africa and out of Africa. Just take Nelson Mandela. He went to study in England, but he came back to his country because he thought there was something going wrong in his country. He had to fight for it. He came back to his country, right? You take Lumumba. He went to Belgium, but he came back to his country because he had to fight for his country. Who do you want to take? Even Laurent Gbagbo, that is at the Court of Justice today. He went out, but later he came back to fight again. He was fighting, he was put in prison, he came out, he ran, he went to France, but he came back again to fight until he became president finally. That is how it works. That is how it works. Not that you go, you stay out there, you are enjoying your life, people are suffering here, you tell them, I am your leader. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. Stop fooling people. And you people stop being so full of yourself. It doesn't help. Learn to be people. Get yourself educated. Education is what frees a man. Freedom is here first. Freedom is first here. That's why many people will say the Bamileke, they are traitors. Because the Bamileke, when you are like this, he comes. You go like this, he goes. You go like this, he goes. He finds a way to survive. Because they use their brains. They get themselves educated. You know it. Not necessarily from conventional school, but they get themselves educated. And that is my own suggestion. Save time, save lives, make people happy. So I hope in this video I've answered some questions. If there are other issues, please comment, let me know, and I'll be very happy to make a video to clarify things for you. And I said, if you don't know how to win elections, come to me, I will help you do that. I know what I'm talking about. Don't look at my face, don't look at my age, look at what I have here. That is what counts the most. Those who know me, they will tell you that that is what counts the most, and I have it. I cannot lead, but I can help a leader. That is my position. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will subscribe and activate your notifications if you have not yet done so that my next video you should be the first one to be informed about it. I hope to see you next time for another video. Before then, stay blessed. Ciao ciao.